Hello, hello, hello. I think this is. Is this episode 9? Is it
Daddy. Wait. Yeah, this is episode 9. This is episode 9, yeah.
episode 9? Episode 9. Welcome, 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 people. Episode 9. Congratulations, you've made it.
We're back in the building, chat. After
We're
so
back.
long, we are back in the building.
Your favorites are back. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello,
I know.
Lucy. Hello,
It's been a
agent. Hello,
while.
hello. It has indeed.
You're probably very sad because we have not been here for a while. Please, everybody, welcome back. The amazing, the fabulous Moona Kitsune. Round of applause, please. Hello, Rose. How are you? Hi, Adrian.
Hello,
Hi,
Rosa.
Lucy. It is
Hello,
amazing to see
did you say
everybody.
you were calling your chat little bats?
Yes.
Hello, little bats.
But yes, it is amazing. It is amazing to finally be back. We had a bit of a break last week. Not last week, last fortnight. 2 weeks, not the game. I was meant to be doing an episode, but everything got too hectic. I tried to rush
And
it.
I was at a convention.
I tried to rush the episode, and then because I rushed the episode, all the other work I had piled up, and I had no time to do the episode. But yes, it will still happen. It will happen very soon. Promise. Trust. But yes, before we do begin, I will quickly say that I'm going to only do the podcast once a month now because of this whole time thing. These podcast episodes take a bit of time, and sometimes they do feel like they're a bit out of sorts because they take a lot of time to prep for, and if we actually want them to be better, we have to put more effort into them. And I have lots of stuff planned to help me out to do it. And I want to play other games as well, but I haven't had the time. So what I'm going to do is one fortnight, so once a month, I'm going to do a podcast episode. I know, it's very, very sad. It's a very depressing news. And then the other fortnight indeed, where I'd usually play, have another podcast episode, I'm going to play a game. Because games don't really take too much effort. It means, though, that the podcast episodes will be better.
I thought you used to do one episode and then the next week you would do a game and then again podcast the week after that.
I was going to try do that, but it got too crazy. It got too crazy. Okay. Yeah.
I see.
The scuff is over. I don't know if y'all were at Moona's stream last night with Umbra.
Oh my god, I don't know what was wrong. Yeah, the stream fixed itself eventually. That's all that matters.
It was crazy. My computer died before I got to see it fix itself, but yeah. It was... I jumped in because I was a bit late because I was busy doing stuff, and I jumped in and I was like, fuck, what is happening? And I switched over to Umbra's side and I'm like, okay, one of these things is not like the other. All right.
I mean, hey, look. Not hey, look. Sorry, that's the wrong thing. I guess I'll tell you afterwards. Look, Umbra has another suggestion for a podcast. And we would really like to suck you into it. Shut up, chat, not like that.
Look, you guys pretty much... Look, honestly, I don't mind. You guys are crazy fun to work with, and... Look,
damn right.
I know about Transformers, but I don't know that much, and you were like, we're doing a Transformers episode, Umbra's coming along, and I was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
No, see, this time it's not Transformers. This time it's Gundam.
Oh, no.
See, because there's a new Gundam show that came out. Like the movie came out first. Yeah, G-Quacks. We want to suck you into G-Quacks.
Yes,
you made me watch the first episode last night. I loved it.
Some little bear has been a bit of a Gundam fiend recently.
Oh yeah, because we got him into Gundam as well. Did he tell you about G-Quacks?
No, because Lucy has been hard on a anime kick right now for a show called Solo Leveling, which is actually pretty good.
Oh, Solo Leveling. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. But yes, let's not drag.
Yeah. Let's stop talking about Gundam. We're here to talk about the School for Good and Evil, Crystal of Time.
No. Quest for Glory.
No.
Quest for Glory, dude. Wait, that's next time. That's next time, people.
My bad. That's next time. Quest for Glory. Sorry, I
Quest
said
for
Crystal
Glory.
Time because that's what I've got right. I'm literally
That's what
using
you're
that book.
reading
I've got
right
the book in
now.
front of me right now.
You
Yeah.
better read quicker, dude.
I'm
It gets
sorry.
crazy in
Well,
the
I got
last
what, a
book.
month? Oh dear lord.
You're going to be a bit disappointed with the last book because something really good's going to happen and then something bad's going to happen right after it and you're like, bitch, you just made me feel amazing and then you ripped it from me.
Yep. Oh, there's another thing we want to suck you into.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it later. It's another comic series. I got I'm not even up to this part of the series because I've been reading it online, but I got issues 50 and 51 of the comic series I'm reading, and it's so hard to find now. Like that you want to find it online, it's going to cost you a 20 gazillion AUD, right? But I found it
Jesus
at a
freaking
local
Christ.
comic book store, right? For $30. I
Oh,
am
that's good.
winning.
That's good,
Yeah,
that's
compared
good.
to like $100 plus shipping for it to come from somewhere else. No, $30. Winning.
Yes.
Anyway, I'll tell you more about
Um,
it later. It is Transformers. You're going to love it though.
so,
Anyway, School for Good and Evil,
people,
Moona. Shut up about Transformers.
on, on, on the point, this is the second part to the first part because we had to split this one up into two because although it's not the biggest book, it has the most lore jammed into it. Let's just say it's the Order of the Phoenix for the School for Good and Evil series. Now, something that I didn't clarify last time that I'd like to point out is that there are 6 books in the series, but they're all on the same name, but they're kind of in like 2 separate parts. So the first 3 books is the high school years, and the second ones were written several years later. They were written a while later, and like in the Counterlot era.
Are you good?
That's My Little Pony. What is it called? I was saying
Like
My Little
graduation?
Camelot. Oh my god.
Post-graduate? Anyway, they've graduated now, but
The
technically
Camelot
graduation
era.
has
I
to
was
be
saying
different.
it's the
Camel-
Camelot
yeah.
era. I was saying Counterlot, like the My Little Pony. The
Yeah.
oh gosh. Anyway, we're gonna ignore the fact that I was 100% a My Little Pony kid. But yes, this is a.
All right, let's get into it. Shall we start? Shall we
yes.
start the timer? Let's start the timer.
I will
You
start.
take it away.
Oh,
You take it away, Espen.
I will start the time. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay. Yes, it's working. It should be working. Hopefully it's working.
It's working.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Where we cut off last time, I think it was Lady Gremlin who like kind of like disappeared right after Tedros turned away, turned back, and she disappeared, right?
Yep.
So now, Merlin, Dovey, and all the group are there in the castle, and they're explaining to Tedros that the Lion and the Snake isn't an actual real fairy tale that was written by the historian, but actually an old king of Camelot made it up so that he could portray himself as the big, brave, strong lion who's the savior of Camelot, and his brother as a snake who's going to just destroy everybody, so then everybody would say that he should be king instead, essentially. Yeah. He then is basically going on the lines of the snake is sharing the snake that they know at the dude who's attacking them, and the snake in the story share the same views that the throne has been wrongfully, like, it's been stripped from them and it shouldn't have been. And then Dovey finally shows Tedros, because she showed Agatha and Sophie really early on the historian's new tale that it's writing. Which, can I just say, why did it take so long to get to that?
That's true. Why did it take them to all be like what in? Is this when they were in prison? Wait, I don't remember.
No.
No.
But like,
What,
it was like
why did
straight
it
off.
take this long?
It was like straight off that Dovey was like, the historian's writing this new tale and all this terrible stuff is happening. And then she doesn't tell
like,
Tedros until half
school,
of this terrible stuff has already happened. Like, it's a bit late, hun. Like, I love you, Dovey. I know you're a bit, like, frazzled right now, but, like, that's come on. Pick up the pace a little. Just a little bit. But yeah.
I think it's just because she didn't want to have to deal with Tedros' bullshit, if you know what I mean.
Probably.
Like,
but yeah.
I don't want to deal with this stupid young king. Oh my god, he's so full of himself.
This is the bit that makes me potentially consider, oh, is this the only reason? Which is why it shouldn't be the only reason why she told Tedros. Like, he should have been notified. But
Yeah, like if
Dovey
someone's
shows
trying
him
to like come to your throne or like your entire bloodline, you would
should be
kind of
letting
want
them
to
know
know
this is a
about that.
threat.
Yeah, but like this is a threat to you and
But she
potentially all your
only
loved ones.
she
Like,
specifically shows him the part where the Lady of the Lake is telling Sophie and Agatha that the snake has Arthur's blood in him. And it's like, okay, still? Where was the notification that, like, somebody was trying to, like, legitimately murder him and take over his entire life? Like, maybe I feel like she's setting up to fail a little bit. Then again, it's not that hard for Tedros to fail.
that is true. This is Tedros we're talking about.
But yeah. And guess what, guys? After Dovey shows him this, something absolutely shocking happens. When I read this and when I was rereading this, I was actually, oh my god, I can't believe it. After Dovey tells him this, Tedros decides, and in the notes I'm using, the summary notes that the wiki how has created for us, this is how it's worded. Tedros finally decides to take action and build an army. Finally decides. 'Cause, yeah, it's true. This man... This boy actually, don't even think
I'm
he's
at
that
a
old.
loss for words. Yeah, no, they're like still like 18 or something at this stage. I don't know. No,
Yeah.
17.
I think they were
Something
like
like that.
17, 16 or some shit like that. I think he was 16. Because remember we were talking about how they were getting married at 16?
Yeah. 16, 17, some shit like that.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, look at you. Look at you, you big boy. You go, Tedros. You go, Teddy.
You formed
But
an
yeah,
army. Yippee. God.
he's finally grown up, honestly. But yeah, I was like, oh, great. He's learned how to actually do his job instead of just pretending he can do it.
Wow, that's crazy.
But yeah, he aside from that, he also decides to find out where all of Camelot funds are going, because if you guys missed the other part, essentially
The Camelot funds that Agatha's been raising have not been going to Camelot.
they've been
What?
disappearing. Where are they
That's
going?
crazy. Oh, who could imagine?
But yeah, here, so he decides to go to the advisors who he found out earlier were like stealing it. Okay, here's the thing. Earlier on in the last episode, if you weren't here, the first part, he found out that the advisors were stealing the money, but he never asked them what they were using it for. He was just like, you guys are stealing the money? Oh, you guys are terrible. Throw them in jail. But was never like, where the hell is the money? He was just like...
I was actually really dumb. He literally, yeah, as Espen said, literally, like, if you found out, sorry, little bats, if you found out someone was stealing from you, would you not want to be like, okay, you're stealing my money? First of all, fuck you. Secondly, what the fuck are you using it for? Right?
Yeah. 1 second. My camera's going to go a bit wonky. My computer's going to die, so I need to plug it in. So I'm going to be... camera face. Okay.
Alright, I'll take charge from here. Alright, let's see.
Ignore the cursed face my character
so he
makes
built
when
an
I'm away
army,
from the
and
camera.
he's deciding, alright, let's put them in jail. Where are we up to? Where the fuck are we on these notes? Blah, blah, blah. So he's going to interrogate the advisors, and he says to the guard, okay, lock the door. You fucking dumbass.
No. Here's the thing, is that from this very moment, I knew...
It was at this moment, you knew.
It was at this moment I knew. But here's the thing, I knew Kai was evil. Spoiler alert, guys, Kai's fucking evil, because guess what?
Hey, not Kai,
Tedros asked him to lock the door, and then when he goes back up to leave after interrogating them, he can't get out because Kai's nowhere to be seen. Or he must have just gone to bed or something, or forgotten about me. No, you fucking dumbass. Honestly.
What kind of idiot guard would forget, oh yeah, the king of the kingdom is in the dungeon, and I've just locked him in there?
With people who hate him and would gladly break out of their cells and kill him. Like,
exactly.
Oh.
Okay, let's keep going because otherwise we need 3 parts for this book. All right, let's go.
Nah, trust, but yes. What was next? Oh yeah, he gathers no. By the way, all of this is for nothing because the advisors tell him absolutely fucking nothing.
Because
He
of
never
course they
finds
don't.
out. He never discovers anything about where the money's gone. Now, time jump to the crew on the Ingrain, the big pirate ship floating boat thingy.
Yeah, because we
Now.
love magic pirate ships that fly.
If you remembered from last time, they were traveling to Jaunt Jolie, which is pirate town. Absolutely the fuck yes. That's where I would live if I was in this world. Just on a side note, I would live in Jaunt Jolie. Pirates, like yes, absolutely. That's me. But yeah, they were going to Jaunt Jolie, and guess what? Now they're captured by pirates in Jaunt Jolie because they were going there, sorry, to save their classmates. I forgot to preface that they weren't just going there for funsies. And then when they're being there, they're all chained together, and you get this like huge scene where they're all like, because you have like Nicola. Fucking hell. Speak properly, please.
Nicola, for those who don't remember, is a reader, just like Agatha and Sophie were.
So she's from
She's from Gavaldon.
And she hates Sophie and Agatha. Loki, she hates them. She's not the
I think
biggest
she
fan.
liked Agatha at least.
I mean,
I knew she hates Sophie.
she's not the biggest fan of them. And basically the entire time they're all kind of just like ripping each other to shreds. And like Nicola's like side-eyeing Hort, and you're like, why, girl? And then later you find out it's because she has a crush on him. But yeah.
Anyway.
It's this long tracked scene, and when I was reading it, I was like, this is going on forever. And they're all chained up together just arguing. I think also they had actually been
I
captured
feel like that scene was kind of drawn out.
They were also captured with the two or three people, what was her name? Beatrix, that they were trying to find, I'm pretty sure, weren't they?
Yeah.
And so they're all just like arguing and arguing.
Whoever the other person was.
And then they all find out when they pass these flyers that they all have bounties on their head, and Sophie sees one specifically that says the Queen of Jaunt Jolie, her bounty has been claimed and she has been executed, murdered. She is dead. I wonder if she's actually dead. Guess what? We find out literally not even a paragraph later when they're thrown into a cellar thingy, when they. And there's fucking the queen's there and the rest of the royalty.
The queen's alive. She's just in a cage with the rest
queen's
of her
alive.
family.
Thanks.
You're doing okay today, Aspen.
What was the point? I'm sorry, but what was the point of being like, she's dead, she's been executed, and not even like 50 words later, never mind, she's alive, guys. It's useless. Utterly useless.
And then later, Sophie and
ridiculous.
Agatha were then ushered into a room to meet the snake. Dun dun dun! So they'd been separated from the rest of the crew, and they find a book. Except it's not, a book and a pen, except the pen isn't a pen, it's a giant skim, how we saying this shit?
I never, look, when I read it, I'd have to check the audiobook, but like, I don't remember how it was actually pronounced. There might be something on the wiki that says how it's pronounced.
Well, yeah.
But it's
We're going to keep changing how we say it. It's a huge eel, ugly, essentially. Eel.
Wait, let's just say maybe like...
No, it's literally described as a shiny black eel.
Shims?
Skims? I've been saying skims.
Let's say skims. That sounds right.
Yeah. Anyway, the snake introduces himself to the girls.
Fastest backtrack of the century.
And he's completely covered in these disgusting fucking eels. Head to toe, covered in them. Disgusting.
Which, by the way, side note, eels are like slimy. That's the first thing I thought when I read that book. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, brother,
Yeah.
So then he directs their attention to the book, and in that book, Tedros is the snake instead of the lion.
Okay, it's writing the opposite. To make him
It's
seem
right
better.
now.
Shocker, right? But yes, while they're here, they also, while they're here, the girls are like, what the fuck? When they see this page, they're like, what the fuck? And then, I think it was Sophie who first noticed it, that, the snake seems really, like, when she looked at the snake, like, his figure and, like, his appearance, aside from the fact that he's covered in eels.
He looks like
Fun
Rafal,
fact, eels
which I didn't
taste
remember.
like flake and squid. Trust me. I don't trust you, though.
Anyway,
That the snake looks...
So eventually they did get his mask off or whatever it was, and yeah, he's described to look like Rafal. If you don't remember, Rafal's the guy that wanted to try and marry Sophie. A minor. Yeah, he's that guy, and he's dead. So.
And but I don't even think they get his mask off in this scene. I think it's later.
Oh, well, it was some scene.
No, it's just the figure, I think, here. I think it's at the end they knock his mask off. But right here, Sophie makes note that his figure reminds her of Rafal, and Agatha says that he smells like Tedros, which is a bit fucking weird, girl. I'm sorry.
How do you know he smells like Tedros? Ew.
How do you know Tedros? Okay, I know how you'd know your boyfriend's scent. I have a few ideas. Not gonna state them, but that's a bit fucking weird.
Okay. That is a bit fucking weird. Anyway, so basically, he says Rafal's weakness was kissing women.
Oh, wait, can I have this moment here?
Yes, you can have this moment.
To just quickly say, people,
go on.
Oh my fucking god. It was this part where I realized, oh my fucking god, I read this entire series twice, and clearly I zoned out for this, because how did I not notice? And then I cried today, because I was like, I'm an idiot. That's beautiful, but also very sad.
Yeah.
Rafal's weakness was kissing beautiful's girls.
And the snake's weakness is kissing men.
Kind of. His weakness
specifically
Arik.
kissing Arik. Yeah.
Is Arik, who is Lady Lesso's son. So it's revealed later who the snake is. I'm not going to get into it. That'll be next time, because that's the next book, and I don't want to spoil. But yeah, I had to go back, and I read all over these quotes, and I was like, oh my god, they're in love. And on the wiki, they're noted down as boyfriends, and I'm like, how the fuck did I read this series twice? And I fucking, like, missed out. Like, it's so obvious now when I reread back on it, and I'm like, oh my god, that's really gay.
So then,
it's so obvious.
The snake then covers Sophie and Agatha in the disgusting slimy black eels and teleports them to the 4 Point. And the 4 Point is a place where the 4 specific kingdoms in the Endless Woods meet. Hence the 4 Point. Pretty on point. Insert drum roll funny, haha. Anyway.
Yes, chat. It is here where all the members of the Igraine and all the leaders of these, and the royalty and the leaders of these 4 kingdoms, they are all forced up onto these giant platforms in front of everybody, essentially, to be hung. Yay.
Yep, be hung. Because,
and we get another long-winded time where they're all standing there chatting, waiting to be freaking hung, and they're just sitting there all chatting before, like, their essential doom, where this lever gets pulled and they all jump
down. Yeah.
Until magically, after like an entire chapter of them standing there waiting to be hung, Beatrix and Raina arrive on top of Millicent the deer and just like freaking save them.
Like, y'all could have been doing some shit. Instead, you just wasted time.
And it was right before they're about to be hung as well. But yeah, battle ensues and everything is crazy. Battle. Nobody dies because we're too wimpy to kill anybody. Until Millicent is fucking killed. The snake kills her with one of the freaking eel thingies. He shoots it through her heart, and she fucking just, like, dies there in front of Sophie and Agatha as they're pinned down.
That's crazy.
And,
I say as I haven't read the book, as if I hadn't.
then a man on a freaking, I think he was on a horse, wasn't he? A man on a horse and a gold lion mask swoops out of nowhere, scoops them up, just like fucking make the snake vanishes as soon as he shows up, and he saves the day and he rides away with Sophie and Agatha. Sophie then takes the mask off this lion dude who's around their age, and then he kisses her and then he disappears.
And I just want to stress the fact that they made very specific mention of, during the fighting, when the masked lion guy shows up, right? They made very specific mention that when the lion killed the snake on that big stage for everyone to see, they made very specific mention that he, like, did the thing with his neck, killed him, snapped his neck, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Just want to put that out there.
But yes.
Continuing on.
Where I'm
going to pull a Callie. Continuing on.
Continuing on. Okay, so the dude has vanished. And now, guess what, guys? We're back to Tedros. We're back at Tedros. We're back in Teddy Town. Hooray.
Teddy Town. Do not call it that. Teddy Town is crazy.
Lancelot and Guinevere are the ones who rescue him from prison. They unlock him because fucking Kai, the guard who just forgot about the King of Camelot, is nowhere to be found. They unlock him and they bring him to this huge meeting room. A whole bunch of Never and Ever leaders are there. And they're all discussing what happened. And then they all receive letters from the snake. Sorry, not from the snake, from the lion. About how the snake is dead. He's not dead yet. He didn't kill him yet. He just disappeared. He doesn't kill him till later.
Right, anyway.
It's right after this. But in Tedros' messages, it says that the lion is saying that he wants to meet up with Tedros, and it's signed your loyal knight.
And for those who didn't know, he had a loyal knight. It was his best friend, Chadwick, but he's dead.
Yay! Best character gone. It's fine though. You'll see what I mean in the last book when you read it.
Oh, now I have to read it. Anyway.
But yes. And then all the kingdoms are talking about how impressive the lion was and how he's so much like a king. And Tedros is like, yeah, I'm going to go meet this lion in Sherwood Forest.
Yeah, he's like, I want to go beat the lion. Let's go.
So
it'll prove that I'm very tingly. Yeah.
Tedros and Lancelot go out to... Well, they meant to go out to Sherwood Forest. Lancelot is like, let's go to Sherwood. And then Tedros is like, nope, we're going to go to Nottingham first to go look for Lady Gramlane. And then Lancelot's like, okay, fuck me. This is stupid. And guess what? Nottingham is ravaged by the fucking eel things. And they find Lady Gramlane wounded in an attic. And as she's legitimately dying in his arms, Tedros is like interrogating her and he's like, who was the snake? Who was the snake? Where is he from? And Lady Gramlane kind of implies that she had a son with King Arthur.
Right, take notes. We have 28 minutes left. We have 28 minutes
left. It's fine. The rest of it will go quickly. But yes. So plot twist, what the fuck? Is the snake Lady Gramlane and King Arthur's son? It's not that easy, folks. No, I'm just gonna say that.
It never is. Anyway, so then Tedros goes back outside.
And Sir Lancelot is fucking dying because the snake has slit his throat. Yay!
Because of course he fucking did.
Blood, death, goriness, love it.
And it just had to be the one person who Guinevere said, "Come back to me alive."
Yeah. So the Ingrained crew have met up with Tedros. They have come to meet up with him. And it's here that Nicola shows Agatha the quest map, which shows the lion on it, but shows his name as Rian, I think it is said.
Yeah, it's Rian. His name's Rian.
So they arrive at Nottingham, and the skim they're like searching for the snake, right? But then they get cornered in the sheriff's house by the skim eel things until Tedros bursts through the door, and they all try and go attack Tedros. Yep, and they all try and attack and kill Tedros until the lion, Rian, has to save Tedros because he's stupid and thinks that he's good at fighting, but he's actually shit. So Tedros gets saved like the little boy he is. And then Dot traps the snake in a enchanted sack and then puts him in the Sherwood like forest. Not the Sherwood forest, sorry. In Nottingham, the jail. Yeah. Okay, then then basically it cuts time. There's a memorial held for Lancelot and Lady Gremlin. Rest in peace. We're not going to miss you because you don't really get brought up again. Soz, bye.
I mean, Lancelot kind of gets brought up again.
A little bit, only because there's a few people having a sorry sad sack, so. But then Agatha eavesdrops on Rhiannon and Tedros, and they're talking about how Rhiannon is taking Sophie on a date to this really cool high fancy restaurant called Beauty and the Feast, and that Dot is going there as well, is also going on a date that night, and Tedros is then like, Agatha wouldn't want to go to a place like that, she'd just like make fun of it. You don't need to make assumptions, dickhead.
Yeah, you asshole.
So
never make assumptions with your girlfriends, boys. Anyway, so she wanted to go, they ended up going, and then when they get there, they're like, oh, sorry, we're all booked. And then Tedros is like, you've been booked out for the King of Camelot. And they're like, fuck, no, I can't get this guy a table. I'll get this guy a table. So
and they have rushing to get them a table. Double day.
Really funny.
Yeah. And then after they've eaten, they basically go on this walk, and while they're on the walk, they pass Annadale and Hester, who are cozied up together, and Hort and Nicola, who are on a date. This is why I hate Nicola, if you're asking, because Hort should be with Sophie. I will die on that hill.
No, even I think so too.
But yes, then they head to Maid Marion's pub, and Maid Marion, for those who don't know, is Robin Hood's lovely wife. So it's there that they find Dot absolutely wrecked. She is passed out on a table, and they find out that the date that she was in drugged her, and drugged her, and then persuaded her to give her the keys to jail. I wonder who drugged her. It was Kai. It was fucking
His name is
K.
K. He keeps saying Kai. His name is K.
It was K. It was K. Because guess what? K's evil. Shocker, right? No, not really.
Crazy. Anyway, so
and
he's gone. He's freed. Gone. Yeah, the snake's gone.
The snake's gone. Hooray. Amazing. Brilliant. That's great news. Now we cut back to the Igraine. This book is a bit choppy, but you know what? Good, because otherwise else we'd be dragging it along. So essentially we're back on the Igraine, and Dovey's speaking to everyone and having one of her speech moments, and she's like, we need to defend Camelot from the snake. We're going to split off into 2 teams.
One team led by Tedros in defense of Camelot, and blah, blah, blah. And one team led by Rian.
Yay!
To recruit an army.
Now, we soon come to find out the reason Rian was the one to recruit an army is because everyone fucking hates Tedros, but you know what? Fair enough. But they all want to actually rally behind Rian.
Because he was the guy who allegedly killed the snake.
Yeah.
And stopped the attacks in all the kingdoms.
And Tedros isn't even doing what he's meant to be doing. He's literally just, he gets distracted, finds Merlin's Celestium, and just like chats with him for a hot sec. But I will say this scene is a bit creepy because Merlin is like, I was visited by the Lady of the Lake who was told who gave him a message to unbury me. And then Tedra's like, wow, I had this I had the exact same message given to me in a dream like months ago, where my dad was there, my dead dad, and he told me to unbury him. Bruh, you didn't think to mention that? Like,
you really didn't think, like, you know, that kind of would have been good information at the time.
No, yeah, but, yeah. Classic Tedros, what can I say?
What can I say except you dumbass? Anyway.
But yes, and Merlin is basically like, you need to consider who the snake's eagle is, because if you guys remember, the eagle was one who decided who was king in the snake and the lion and the snake, because Tedros has found his eagle in Rhiannon, but like, who is the snake's eagle? And basically then they chat about how Rhiannon said to Tedros that he attended the Foxwood School for Boys, and Merlin is like, oh, what house was he in? And because his friend was in charge of Arbid House, and it's unlikely that Rhiannon would have been there because he's never heard of him. You know?
Ooh, dun dun dun.
But yes, so Rhiannon's doing absolutely beautifully at his job. He's recruiting an entire team. Everyone's rallying behind him. Everybody loves him. Until, dun dun dun, there is a message that appears in the sky saying that tonight something will happen at midnight. Ominous music plays in the background. It's a message from the snake. Yeah.
Because his
Shocker,
weird
right?
his weird eel pen can run in the sky.
Yeah. So basically, right, they all like gather
Everyone's preparing for
together.
battle, basically.
Yeah.
Tedros is talking to Rhiannon, asking like, "Oh yeah, what's he doing?" And he says that he was in Arbid House. Ooh.
Yeah. And then Dovey, Dovey, when does she come in? Is it soon or is it?
When she interrupted
right before
dinner.
this chat. She, because they're all having dinner and like preparing, right? And that's when Tedros is asking Rhiannon about what house he's in, and Dovey's like walks in, she looks all disheveled, and she's like, "There's a freaking shield around Camelot, yay!" She looks absolutely wrecked.
Dovey's she looks wrecked. She's sick because of the crystal ball. The crystal ball's making her sick, basically.
Yeah.
So there's a shield around Camelot. And Agatha and Sophie take her to go rest, go sleep. Like, yeah, you're sick as fuck. Go lie down, old lady. So they take her to the room. Agatha says to Sophie that like she's doubting. She has doubts about Tedros being a good king, and Tedros overhears.
And he essentially, Tedros' reaction to hearing this is basically, at first he's like, "Oh yeah, I understand that." And he's like, I think that Agatha might actually be right about this. I am a shit king. And then the freaking snake attacks them. And Sophie's like, wait, but the shield is still around.
The shield is still,
around Camelot. The snake's been here the whole time? So the snake reveals himself to Rhiannon and Tedros, and Tedros is fighting him alone and is legitimately about to die, and then Agatha yells out to Rhiannon, save him, because she loves Tedros and she doesn't want him to die. So Rhiannon breaks the snake's neck, and then Tedros turns to Agatha and is like, "You always hold me back. You're not why I'm a good king. It's your fault. Everything's your fault." Bruh, the fuck?
How did you come to that conclusion?
You were gonna die.
How did you were like, dude, I'm sorry.
You were literally gonna die. She saved your life literally like twice in every single one of these books. You should be grateful you have her. Not yelling at her for saving your fucking life. Like, shut up. Just because you can't fight and you're stupid doesn't mean you can yell at her. I mean, seriously.
Exactly.
But yes, aside from Tedros being an awful boyfriend, they all like get ready to have this like royal celebration for like Tedros or whatever, because you know he needs to be king, yada yada yada, bullshit.
Blah, blah, bullshit.
And Merlin is like, Agatha, even though you're only 16 years old and I'm ancient, you need to make sure that Dovey's crystal ball is safe, even though I could literally just hide it in my Celestium where nobody could ever find it. But it's your duty as a 16-year-old.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Total sense, guys.
Totally. Just don't question it, and then everything's fine. Meanwhile, everyone's catching up in this new development. Merlin asks Tedros what house Rian was in, and Tedros is like, oh yeah, he was in Arbor House. And Merlin says that Arbor's house was notorious for, evil kids. Evil kids that are specifically a threat to the woods.
Like
and that they are
Arik.
magically concealed from the schoolmaster, being Rafal, so that he can't find them and like recruit them to be his evil underlings.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Merlin here also reveals that Kay was also in Arbid House, which, just side note, why would you let somebody who was in Arbid House, if they're so evil, be a royal knight?
Exactly.
Like, the fuck? That's
and
stupid.
his roommate in Arbid House was Arik, Lady Lesso's son.
Agatha basically overhears this and is like, wait, shit, the snake said he was good friends with Arik. More than good friends, though. More than good friends, though.
And they were roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
Roommates, best friends, colleagues, anything but gay.
Pretty much. But yes, no, they are actually official lovers, it turns to find out. We're just both dumbasses who didn't realize it until we did extensive research. Fucking hell.
To connect the dots. And the snake... you did already say this. Yeah.
I've lost where I were, I'm so sorry.
If Rian was in Arbit House, then that means, logically, he would know all these guys. Yeah. Right? The dots have started to dot.
Right, guys?
Yes. Dots are dotting.
and
she noticed one of the guards holding the snake's body. It's actually one of the pirates from John Jolie. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, so Agatha, by all sense, every sanity in her body said, let's follow them with no backup.
Yeah! So smart. Yay!
So she's following them. And then she turns the corner. Whoop-de-doo! The snake's alive!
What the
He's
fuck?
alive!
Shocker, right? The snake, who's very reminiscent of Rafal looking, is alive. I wouldn't have imagined this in 100 years. Shocker.
So then realizing that the lion, so Rian, is actually the real snake, and that this snake is just like, a stand-in, Agatha runs to find Tedros, just as he offers his gift to his knight, being Rian. And Tedros, in all his stupidity, makes the absolute worst mistake of his life. He says, he puts his hand on his shoulder, all Spider-Man hey style. It's just like, what do you want, mate? My gift to you as king is I'll give you whatever the fuck you want. Right?
Allergic to common sense and chronically stupid. But also, I'm so sorry. I have a theory after we realized that Tedros is a bisexual disaster, that he had a little bit of hots for Rian.
Boy Sophie. Oh, that too.
I'm sorry, but the way he acted towards him, I'll get onto it later at the very end if we have time. But that I have a theory. I have reasons why I believe that.
Anyway, so he asks for the key around Guinevere's neck, which this key unlocks the case to Excalibur. And Agatha shouts to alert Tedros, but she's too late.
She's too late.
Of course she is. So Rian smoothly pulls Excalibur from the stone and declares himself king.
Now this is where shit gets real. And Tedros couldn't. I'm better than him.
So, if you don't know, if by somehow you don't know, anyone who can pull the sword from anyone who could basic sword in the stone, you pull the sword from the stone, you're king. And King Arthur's ceremony thing for Tedros to do to actually properly become king. Oh yeah, my son has to do what I once did, which was to pull the sword from the stone.
Yeah, because
essentially, if you missed
the thing
shoved
was...
the sword into a stone and tried to pull it, and the sword just said, "Nah, get fucked."
Essentially, the thing about the sword was that after King Arthur pulled it, the firstborn, gonna reiterate that, firstborn from King Arthur's bloodline, the firstborn child of everybody from his bloodline should be able to pull it from the stone.
And guess what? Tedros couldn't pull it from the stone. What does this mean?
We'll get to it. You don't know it either, but I do, and it's killing me. Please read the book, bruh.
Okay, I'll leave it out to people leave. Anyway, yeah, so the crowds chants his name like Rian, Rian, Rian,
Because they're all in love
and
with
then
him.
he sentences Tedros and anyone else that is loyal to him to death. Just straight up, the death. And Agatha notices that Sophie's unable to run because, oh yeah, Rian and Sophie were a thing because Sophie thought he was good and like, you know, she was with him.
Yes, Sophie is stupid and keeps on getting with the bad guys. We love her.
I mean,
but, like,
to be fair,
this
time around she didn't actually know.
Yeah, fair enough. But she has an unconscious thing for bad boys.
Yeah, she really does.
Yeah.
And they didn't really mention it, but I remembered very specifically saying that Sophie was wearing like this really pretty pink big princess pink dress. And Rian, well, like, you know, he's holding her like a knife like to her back. So she's being threatened. She's like she can't run. Rian is now king and Sophie, by force, is his queen.
Yeah. I don't know why everyone wants Sophie to be a queen when she's hopeless. I'd prefer Agatha, honestly, but that's my personal opinion. I think Agatha would actually get shit done. I will rest my peace, though. And then
that's it. That's the cliffhanger.
Agatha flees. Agatha,
and we have so much time left. I think we're gonna end this. We have to end this early.
No, I can talk about my theories. We
finished almost everything. Oh yes,
talk about
theory time.
I've got a few extra stuff as well. There's a few things that I want to talk about, but yes, basically, essentially, Agatha runs away. The snake has become. It says it here. Very good close off. I'm pretty sure this is very reminiscent of the actual line at the end of the book. But the snake has become the lion, and the lion has become the snake. So they've switched roles, just like how the evil Black Book has said. But yes, the reason why I think that Tedros might have potentially had a mini micro crush on Rian originally is because we know from earlier on when he first discovered that Lancelot and Guinevere were together and alive that he was like, oh, you guys are the worst, because, you know, Lancelot was his dad's best friend and he ran away with his dad's wife, you know, with his mother. And so he hated Lancelot, and Lancelot was King Arthur's right-hand man. But throughout this entire book, as soon as he met Rhiannon, he's like, I want to be just like my dad. I want to have my night, my special night. I want to have my right-hand man. It's like, you literally were just shitting on him and saying how awful Lancelot was before. And now you're like obsessed with being
and now he's dead too. Like literally, only after Lancelot died that he was like, oh yeah, he was actually such a good man. Oh, I wish he didn't die.
Yeah, he gave him so much shit.
He really did.
But yeah, and I think my main thing about this book is I did really like this one, but I think my main thing about it though is that it was different in the sense that at the start of the book we got a lot of, because in the original trilogy part, it was Agatha and Sophie. It was the Agatha and Sophie show, you know? It was their two perspectives. Yeah. But at this on the start you had chapters from Agatha and Sophie, but also from Tedros and Nicole. And the writing was very beautiful. Like, it was very clear who was like...
It was, yeah.
You could have not had the name of the characters and still have known whose chapter it was, because it was very clear, like, the writing style changed.
Yeah, like which is something I really admire about Soman Chainani's writing style. I really like the way, like how like the way that he writes. It's so unique and so like the amount of like detail, like just the way he structures his books.
And his imagery is beautiful.
Yeah, like his descriptiveness of like how like everything. It's just really good, and like I try to, like, when I write stuff, I try to like model it off of that. Like he's very good at what he does.
Absolute props.
Star, I really want to read this. I have the books. I have the books. I can lend them
Yes.
to you.
Do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. This is obviously we give you guys an overview of what happens, but obviously there's lots of stuff we have to skip out on.
Like,
So,
yeah, like even if it's like
if you're
all
interested, if you like these, go read them because there's even
go
more
read
to
it. You can
love.
find it online. There are audiobooks. Yeah, go read it. Go to your
There are
local library, see if they have
audiobooks.
it.
Yeah,
Audiobooks,
there are
yeah.
free audiobooks online through some library services. So like you can look them up, but libraries often have like apps and you can listen to free audiobooks. Or because these are popular books, there are some YouTube audiobooks. So on YouTube if you
They
type
even,
the
I
name in
think
an
they got
audiobook, it'll come up.
the actor, they got Kit Young, who played Rafal in the live action movie. They got him to do an audiobook for the
Yeah,
School for
they
Good
got
and
him.
Evil.
Yeah, I think
I
that
don't
one
know
was
if
on
he did it
Audible,
for
which you
all
had
the
to pay
books,
for.
but I know he did do it for the first
For the
book.
first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, go source them. In fact, I could even try and find some sources for people. But yeah,
Join the Discord and
amazing.
Espen can give you sources and links to all audiobooks. Yay!
I'll go find them, put them in the Discord. But there are so many different ways you can find the audiobooks
Wait, I
because
should link the
audiobooks are very
Discord.
good if you're busy. Audiobooks are very good when you're busy because I listen to a lot of them because what you do is you can clean, you can draw, you can do lots of tasks as long as you're not like maybe writing or doing something else. And you can also listen along. So that's what I do a lot of the time. But
I'm
yeah,
about to send in the Discord link, but just know this is not Espen's Discord. Espen currently does not have
we're
a
kind of all
Discord. I
using
think that's the
yours as
wrong
like
Discord.
a
Yeah,
general one because everyone's
yeah,
on there.
we're going to be using my Discord. So my Discord server, you know.
The only reason where I'm like, should we bother making ones for each of us is because everyone's already settled on yours. And what?
Well, the reason
do
I
we...
made my one is because my chat kept asking me to. Like, oh, you should make a Discord. And I'm like, okay, fine. When I
Yeah.
hit 300 subscribers, I will make a Discord. I
Because
did it because my chat demanded it of me.
yeah, I feel like it's easier just keep everything on. Like everyone knows that I'm on there and that Callie and Blookie and Akala on there. You know, and we all post like our stream notifications on there and everything. So
Yeah.
yeah.
The thing is that if I'm not actively listening to an audiobook, oh yeah, so if you zone out, yeah, that is very, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can lend you the physical book still.
Sometimes
mail
what
them
I
out
do
to
as
you.
well is I listen to the audiobook and I look at and I read the physical book, but yeah. I'll give you back your book sometimes. So if you're ever yeah, I'll need to give you back the
yeah.
second book.
Which, oh yeah, you still that's this, yeah, we always forget, you keep forgetting, we keep forgetting.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's okay. We'll get it back in time for Star.
yeah.
You'll be on our
Yeah.
incentive. But yes, and I feel like but the thing was with this, although that was great having multiple different perspectives at the start, I feel like at the end, like roughly in the second part, it just like went back to the Sophie and Agatha show. Like most of it in the second part of the book was just Sophie and Agatha again. It's like, okay, but like I want a Hort chapter again because I freaking love Hort. He's my little boy, you know? But we didn't get much of that. But yeah, other than that, it was phenomenal.
I think, yeah. I think, should we just wrap it up now? Because we don't really have much really more to say. Like, there are no more notes really to read.
We have the Tedros scale.
Yeah, okay, we'll finish it up with the Tedros scale. The Tedros scale.
All hail the Tedros scale. I dubbed this one
like and subscribe if you're new.
10 out of 10 on the Tedros scale. I dubbed this because Tedros was the most Tedrosy he ever was in this book. We got chapters from this book for the first time, actually from Tedros's perspective, and oh my fucking god, it was even worse. And you know what? I was talking with
made a
Moona
new
about this
scale
before.
for the Tedros scale.
I was talking about this with Moona beforehand, but when I was first reading these, which I read these ages ago. I read them when the last one came out, which is quite a long time now. I think it was like 5-6 years ago now.
Anyway,
and
you were saying.
Basically, a lot of I would watch like book reviews that people would release at the time. So I'd finish a book and I'd go read a book review. And so many people said the same thing about this book, where they were like, oh, I really like this book, but I hated Tedros in the book. He was so snarky and like bitchy. And I was like, he's always been
He's
like
always
this.
been like that.
It was just
He's always
more
been like that.
obvious because you actually got a chapter from his perspective. But he's literally been like that since the first book, where he was snarky and all about him. Little Tedros.
Yeah, literally.
He's always been that, right?
It's always
been
about
little uwu boy.
Tedros.
Uwu boy.
He's
I
always
need
been
Callie to do.
yeah. We need Callie. Yeah, Callie.
To make us
Callie.
to like record us an uwu like soundtrack we can play.
Oh yeah, a little soundboard. Callie soundboard.
Yeah, with
funny.
all the little
All right.
Well, once she's finished with a whole bunch of other stuff that she's currently working on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's got it. By the way, it's almost the anniversary of Eternia V. That's actually really soon.
Yes, if anybody right now has any suggestions of what they would like us to... What the shit? Why is the timer changed? Oh no. Huh? No, okay,
Anyway,
don't worry.
if you have any ideas for any anniversary activities that we could do, tell us
Any
in the
games.
Discord.
Let
Or
us
tell it in the
know.
comments below.
The only one that I thought maybe, but it would require everyone buying it, would be Pico Park 2,
Repo.
because
Callie does not want to get Pico Park 2.
I can't play Pico Park 1 anymore. Because it's not
Oh
compatible.
yeah. You know what? Tell her that. If it comes from you, she'll probably buy it.
Yeah. But, like, if she can't because she doesn't have the money right now, then that's fine. But I think that would be good because you've all played Pico Park before. Everyone finds it very entertaining. And I really want to play it again, and I can only play it if it's the second one. And it means we won't just be replaying the same exact ones in Pico Park
Like
1
mini
again and
games,
again.
yeah.
So that's the only thing I can think of.
Well, yeah, we're open
yeah.
to discussion and ideas. If you have any ideas for our podcast, we do have a Patreon. It is free, and you can use it to give us ideas for the podcast. Like if you want us to look into a
Yes.
video game, a book, visual novel, whatever
Now-
it may be, a TV show, movie, whatever, tell us and we will look into it. We will do our research and we'll do a podcast episode on it.
This is also
And
just
did
to
you
say...
link the Patreon?
Yes, it should be linked down below. But this is just quickly to reiterate that right now, once again to reiterate, because I said at the start, and if there's anybody who's come along later, we will only be doing episodes once a month. Well, I will only be doing episodes of people once a month. Because I am really freaking busy and I'd like to play other games. I'm going to stop the timer now before it dings on us. And... So it might take us a while to get there to your request. We do have a request right now from Agent, which I'm partway through reading, but I
haven't even started because I've been so busy.
Yes.
No.
Except I read I read a huge section and then I completely forgot. You're not just reading this for fun, Espen. You're meant to be writing notes on it. So I had to go back to the start and write notes. But yes. So it might take us a while to get to your requests, but we do need them because we do have a list of stuff we have ideas for, but it will eventually slowly
We will
decline.
eventually get to it, yeah.
We'll eventually run out of episodes ideas.
Yeah.
So, yes. All
Alright,
right.
that being said, I think it's time to finish up because we all got things to do today. Alright.
And I will
thanks
see
guys
you
so much for
all...
watching.
I'll actually
Don't
see you
forget
all
to follow
Fortnite when I
and
hopefully
hit that
play a
subscribe
game.
button. Not the game Fortnite.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Alright.
weeks, not the
Bye-bye,
game, bro.
everybody. Bye-bye.
Oh, wait, let me get my OBS open. Bye-bye.
Oh no! Bye-bye! じゃあね、またね